I remember taking my pipe and just putting it on the floor and just stepping on it. And I was like, I'm done. And a month later, Madison was born on her due date, which I don't know how that happened because I had done everything you're not supposed to do while you're pregnant. And on the third day, they took my daughter and they said, we'll be right back. And they never came back. I went down almost every street around the hotel and just cried and just didn't know where to go. And I didn't want to go back to the motel because I had my room in the motel all set up with a crib and clothes. I just felt so alone and lost.
I was advised to be cordial but confidential because the bio mom was hostile to the first foster parents. And so obviously not really what I wanted to hear. They said be confidential, so I thought, is it bad if she even knows my name? So when I met Lauren, I didn't know what to expect, but as soon as we started talking, she felt at ease with me.
I was on my first unsupervised visit with my daughter. I was feeling so nervous. I have my daughter, and we can go wherever we want, and we can be back at this certain time. We can spend this time alone that I haven't had. She goes in my car, and we're driving, and Madison starts crying. And she starts crying and crying and crying, and I start crying, and we're both holding each other, and we're just crying, and I knew she didn't want me. So I met them at Trader Joe's parking lot, and we're in the parking lot, and I'm just crying and holding Madison, and Brian puts his hands over me while I'm crying, and he prayed for me. And I don't know what he said, but when he was done, all the guilt was taken away. All the guilt was taken away. Because when she was crying, it wasn't just a kid crying. All I heard was everything I did while I was pregnant. Everything I did to put her in a position to be crying.
Well, when we first got into foster care, or we thought we were going to start doing it, it was just, the focus was just all about the children and about, saving children. We didn't have any other really focus until we went to our agency's training, which was really good. And they kind of like enfolded us into the whole process of dealing with, there's a family that's broken, and you're there not just for the children, but there's an entire family that's out there that's going to be hurting.
Out of the blue, I got a text message from her, which made me cry. She had just texted me, Bethany, I need God and I want Madison to know Jesus. And I'm like, I called her right away. I was like, we gotta talk about, you're making me cry. She's like, why? And I'm like, because this is absolutely amazing. And then to hear how God has just been working on her heart, it was exciting. And she wanted to learn more. She's hungry and thirsty. And so we've been doing Bible study together. She started going to church. She found one, they got connected in there. And so it's been amazing to see God at work.
They were my support. Bethany and Brian were my main support throughout this whole case after they got Madison. They carried me. They believed in me. My relationship with them is still growing, and I love them so much. I consider them to be my family. I get my advice from Bethany. I watch her family because I want what she has, and I want what her family has, and I want how her family is. I want that for my family.
You think about walk by faith and not by sight. And going into fostering, we had a lot of questions. We had a lot of doubts, concerns, fear. There's a whole lot of emotions, and you almost don't want to do it, but you want to do it. And the things we feared most, I feel like didn't come to pass. We were so afraid that it would blow up on our faces and that it would be the worst experience ever for our family. And it hasn't been that way. I think we're always afraid to obey the Lord because we don't know what the cost will be. But in following Christ, the cost is always worth it. It really ends up being no cost. I'm like, we've gained more and then had to, put out kind of thing. And God is always so gracious in that way. So, I don't know why we get so afraid. But yeah, we do. And we're going to continue to grow in those things. But God is so kind. He's so kind in his dealings with us.